This team right now is a half game up on the Utah Jazz.
Yeah.
For 11th
Yeah.
in the Western Conference. It has been a very bad month for the Warriors. It was a bad weekend, and Steph Curry again had a no three-point game, 0 for 9.
Yeah, didn't seem like Steph was into this game. He just wasn't feeling it. And partly was because of the defense rotations. They went with this new starting lineup, starting Andrew Wiggins for the first time in weeks, alongside Jonathan Kuminga, who everyone has been talking about. That's the guy. We can do this together. But when they put them on the floor, the numbers are just bad. So they started those two guys with Trayce Jackson-Davis. It was hilarious. Literally watching their defensive effort in that first half. They literally just didn't know where to be and didn't know where to defend. As soon as those guys went to the bench, it was Sarge, Podziemski, Kevon Looney. The numbers went back the other way. They looked good. So those three started over Kuminga, Wiggins, and Trayce Jackson-Davis in the second half. Yeah. They said, Wiggins, all right, you haven't started for a few weeks. But it's not working. You're off. Even Kuminga went back to the bench. They looked better in times with those the aged guys, the old guys. That's what they're going to do with Draymond Green. They're going to put him out there, and they're probably going to look better. I don't know why he hasn't been working out. I know what he's been doing. You're going through the counseling. As Joe Dumars said this weekend, I like this quote about Draymond Green from Joe Dumars. During the period of his suspension, Green completed steps that demonstrated his commitment to conforming his conduct to standards expected of NBA players, said the former star of the Detroit Bad Boys. He knows what's up. Being in Michigan, he wanted to play rough. He's got to stop playing rough. But this team, I wonder how it comes together. It's just interesting. Like, if he gets back on the floor, they know where to be. Yeah. They're going to be better defensively. I don't think there's any doubt about that. But yeah, this up and down, it's such a wild weekend because we got the story on The Athletic. Kuminga has lost his faith in Steve Kerr. Then he meets with Warriors head coach Steve Kerr. I love it here. That's the
faith
quote.
Restored.
Yeah. Then Chris Paul breaks his hand. Well, Draymond Green's coming back. The Warriors were 7-5 in those 12 games he missed, so maybe things will be back. And then they start Wiggins again. I think Andrew Wiggins has the worst contract in the NBA. I love the dude. Wow. Yeah, he's got to come back, but he just signed for 4 years, 120. It looked like a deal, but he literally can't be on the floor. There's something going on there with Andrew Wiggins. That's
what everybody thinks, for sure.
So,
his father,
so the crazy that will he come back? They're waiting for that. Moses Moody went back in the rotation, which looked good. I think they have to get the old guys, and you got to get Draymond Green telling Jonathan Kuminga where to go, and then I think they will be fine.
Another way to look at this game, in watching the Raptors sort of handle them there for a majority of the game, is the Warriors reading their body language. I was taking away a team that is being affected by trade rumors, or maybe knows something that we don't know in terms of who's potentially on the outs and what things they're doing, because that starts to happen around this time, right? As we get closer and closer to trade deadlines, it affects some teams. You can see it in terms of their effort, especially. Mm-hmm. Guys are mentally checked out, either because so-and-so is getting moved or they might be getting moved. And again, I got no intel. What am I, Shams? I don't know. But that's what I was taking away from this. I was like, ooh, this is bad. They're carrying themselves like they know something about to happen. So we'll see.
Maybe they saw that picture of Masai and Mike Dunleavy Jr. talking pregame.
It's possible. Oh man.
Yeah. Maybe Steph doesn't want this team going forward. Maybe he wants some sort of change. Like, Steph's body language was bad.
Yeah.
Maybe because he wanted the vets out there. Because, as I said, when Sarge and Looney were out there, Looney was offensive, boarding all over the place. They looked like they knew where they were going. But it was just an odd to see a Curry doesn't make a three night, Curry single digits scoring night. That's just weird.
Yeah.
That was strange to not pass him the ball where he should be passed the ball.
And Trey said it, like, when they started to make a comeback, a lot of it was, oh shit, Klay Thompson's back. He's on. He's hot.
Yep.
Wouldn't you ride that hot hand? I mean, this is like Kerr's like sort of downfall. He's like so rigid and like, oh, gotta take him off now. It's like, do you? Do you really have to? Like, he's got it going. You were down huge. The guys you started, most of them were not giving you a great effort. And, like, that's a classic Kerr thing. I know it sometimes works out, sometimes doesn't. But he's usually playing the long game when they had elite talent. But now they're like, they're sub 500. They're not even close to, like, one of the best teams right now in the Western Conference. So